Murder.
Yeah, but you guys all use my paper, so. I'm creating jobs and employment. Yeah.
Good afternoon. We're just getting settled in here in person.
So when I share, my screen, it's gonna go up there?
Yes, I'll just push this button.
I'm saying.
No, she- We're gonna keep everyone online on mute and no video too. So if you sneak on there, I'm gonna like go in and stop it. But I think we're gonna be okay. Everyone's muted automatically when they come in.
Wait, that actually works?
Yeah. When I do it properly, yep.
It's
Hello?
too bad you still need a waiting room. Like, why can't they just join?
Yeah, like we can, so we have Zoom now because Facebook and Zoom are not friends anymore. So
Yes.
we have waiting room still, but we could switch it to passcode, but I feel like the passcode will be worse than the waiting.
We will get more text messages up here being like, what's the
Yeah,
passcode?
because you only get three options. You get waiting room, passcode, or you have to log into Zoom. So I
It's
just
just you can remove it. Please tell us how to
only with a
remove it.
passcode or by logging into Zoom. So the both of those are not good for the majority of our people.
Like if you guys don't have Zoom.
Yeah, so waiting room is the way to go, I think, for now. We might stream live right to YouTube because it ends up on YouTube anyways, so that might be the next evolution.
We have to get rid of that Facebook group.
Is people still on Facebook? We still use Facebook? Yes, yes.
Yo, Facebook
All
is
the old guys do.
Facebook is my number one lead source, to be honest.
Oh, no, it's a yeah, it's a millennial thing. too.
Facebook's our number one lead source.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I
not
would
on
get
it,
rid of
though.
it. No, it's funny is they'll follow us on Instagram, but they'll message us through Facebook
On Messenger.
Weird.
I'm gonna get more interaction, more like seeing things through Facebook.
Yeah.
than I do on Instagram.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
So how was the week? Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Hope you enjoyed celebrating. How was the week? Did anyone do open houses?
You had
Yeah,
a few.
yes,
I had one open house, I had a 25 plus 90,
nice.
How was Parkside?
44.
Is that,
That's
I thought the open house
Parkside?
you did too? No, okay.
44 people. Second open house, there's only 5.
So which day was better then?
The one that picked Ajax.
Okay.
outside,
Okay,
this one the top day. I had 44
that Pickering?
people, and possibly 2 of our own offers.
okay, good.
And
Ajax was busy.
In Whitby,
Yeah. Okay, so Ajax was more popular.
Was that the same?
75 by 300 foot lot, a basement apartment, totally updated, listed for $900,000 by 401 and Lake Ridge.
Hmm.
And only 3 or 5.
Was that the same day that like you had 40 at one property and 5 at another?
One Saturday we had 25, Sunday we had 9. So we only do open house one day. If there's a positive feedback, then we do so.
Okay, and how was your open house? You're making a different face, so. Okay, you helped out Shiv yet?
Zero.
Oh,
We got
no.
none?
I had the neighbors come just to see the layout of the house.
Well, that's
Oh, the
okay.
Neighbors are
Neighbors are
good
good.
sellers.
That's okay.
Really? Zero? I never had a 0 people.
Interesting.
You went door knocking still and still just the neighbors came by. That's okay.
So that's why they never came by it because you don't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Did you
Yeah.
get the lead?
That would be a lead, no?
No, don't knock me up like.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Anyone else?
We heard of someone else 2 weekends ago that had open house, but nobody came. And I said, put a BRB sign on the door with your cell phone number and go out and door knock and invite them to come and just say, call my cell if you end up at the door. But you might as well just go out rather than sit there. And
No, I might be in the basement.
yeah.
Please
Having-
call me.
Having a nap.
Chris Leader just did his coaching session too, saying if you're if you're going to an open house, you should bring a list of your like leads or sphere of influence. And if you're just gonna sit there for 2 hours, you might as well make some phone calls while you're there and not waste completely 2 hours. So that was kind of a good idea.
That's good. Cool. Anyone else?
So how do you put somebody on the hold if somebody walks into the house?
Put your cell phone number. Say, give me a text
No,
or call
somebody
or.
walks into the house and the other.
Well, you gotta lock it.
Lock
You can't just leave the house open.
Oh, like if you're prospecting and someone comes to the door?
Like,
Just while you're busy.
Just like open
multitasking.
it. I'm so busy. This house is getting so many offers.
Yeah, you fake it. Cool. Before we get into things, I want to introduce a new agent, Rajveer. Welcome to the team. Thanks so much. She's ready to do your open houses with some training. She's in the Pickering area, so welcome. Cool.
Seems like everybody lives in Pickering.
I
The place to be.
we went to a couple parties on the
Should I go
weekend,
into Pickering?
and they were like, yeah, we moved to Pickering from Toronto, and like so many people are moving to Pickering.
Why don't I go
So-
into Pickering because it
Sure.
is on my list while we're here. I live in Pickering actually myself. I went to the Pickering Economic Outlook meeting last week. Did anyone go there that maybe I didn't see? No, there's a lot happening in Pickering. You can see it up there. These
I'm
were
gonna
some of
say-
my gibberish notes. I didn't review them or anything, but I did put them in the what's. That's just the
Oh,
side
sorry.
font. So I did go to the Pickering Economic Outlook because there's a lot happening in Pickering. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with what's happening, but just from my notes alone, they were just talking about all the different things that they're going to be doing. The meeting itself was actually at the casino. Have any of you guys been to the Pickering Casino yet?
Yeah.
It's really nice. So they're going to be building quite a bit of stuff. The whole point or the whole goal is to make it a big entertainment area. So they've got the casinos there now. The hotel's really nice. They're gonna be doing like a Porsche track or something. I guess you can rent Porsches and drive around a track. I think they're gonna have like a Top Golf kind of thing. I don't know if there's a water park, but there's a bunch of stuff that's coming just in that Pickering area. They were also just talking about different things that like are good for you guys to know. Trio Vest, they've got a big industrial development happening. A lot of people have been asking about what they're doing about like hospitals and whatnot. So they just have the Jerry Coughlin Health and Wellness Center that's opening. So I think they do. Yeah, so they're doing like surgeries, medical tests and all that. So they're bringing in lots of jobs. Day surgeries, yeah. So they were talking about that a little bit. They've got the Innovation Corridor, which is Wonder Bread is going to be one of the biggest employers there.
Yeah, that's a, but, really big.
Huge.
That's like.
I don't know if I wrote down the
It's-
exact
it's like
one.
One of my clients is the in charge of the real estate.
Oh, yeah,
It's 100,000 square feet.
it's insane. So that's going to open up a lot of jobs.
Pizzas and frozen pizza and everything.
Yep, really good. So it's really exciting stuff coming there. Obviously people are going to be asking about how like people are going to be driving. So they were talking about how the government's investing in widening the Highway 7 from Reeser Road and Scarborough all the way to Pickering on Brock Road by 2025. Via Rail is going to be going, or they're trying to advocate for a stop in North Pickering because a lot of this development is happening in North Pickering. They were talking about the nuclear power plant, refurbishing that, creating 11,000 more jobs.
Are they getting rid of it or refurbishing?
They're refurbishing
I
it.
thought it was gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought they were going out too, and then they started talking about
They
refurbishing
need to like
it.
paint it pink or something. It's
Yeah.
just a big eyesore right
Right. They named Pickering one of the top 3 cities to live or most livable cities in Ontario out of 339 cities. So that's kind of cool to know. The city center project, which I think a bunch of us have seen, the Pickering City Center. It's going to be a 55-acre master planned community. There's going to be 30 new mixed use condos, 12,000 more units, 130,000 square foot of new office space in the phase 1. They're actually renaming the Pickering Town Center is now called the Shops at Pickering because they're going to try to modernize that a little bit. But there's going to be 700 square feet of shopping and entertainment. It's again replacing the Pickering Town Center. I was joking around because we grew up in Pickering, and when we were kids, we called ourselves the LC at the PTC, which was a lunch crew at the Pickering Town Center. So I had to let my crew know that our crew name's going to be changing soon, but that was kind of fun. In terms of condos, there's going to be the Savoy development, which is going to be a 40-story tower with 514 units. Universal City project, which is going to have 7 buildings with 2,800 units. Viewpoint condo, 1,700 units. And they're going to be having some dedicated units for Habitat for Humanity. Seton Community is going to have the largest residential employment and commercial development in Canadian history. So they're gonna have a different range of different housing types that's gonna accommodate 70,000 new residents. But yeah, there's a lot
Is
happening.
Kingston Road ready for that?
We'll find out.
You have roads for that?
As I say, it's Kingston Road.
All I
ready?
know is Highway 7 is expanding, but I feel like there's gotta be some new highways that they gotta add in there
Yeah.
to go for it. At least some exits off Liverpool or make one in between Whites and maybe Port Union. Something should be done, I
Yeah.
think. I
There's-
don't think they will, but.
There's
there's
one other
good.
project too, because I saved it for last, but it's 1515 Pickering Parkway. So it's by a developer I haven't heard of, but they're just starting to advertise that right now, starting in the 400s. So it's not just City Court that's doing, or Center Court that's doing their thing. There's a whole bunch of developers happening. So this one is just starting,
499 for.
probably
Probably.
400s, exactly. They're gonna go 499,999. Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
cool.
Pickering's got some fun stuff happening.
And we found out about this event just through Treb, by the way. So when you log into Treb, there's a whole bunch of announcements on that side. That's how we found out about the event. So pay attention because there's some cool stuff happening that you can attend.
It was a free event, really nice. So that's what we got. I guess while we're on the topic of events,
So how many people were there in that? event?
there's probably like a couple hundred.
It's
It
at the
was a really
casino,
nice
yeah.
setup. They had like breakfast and all that.
It was free, right?
It was free, but we were sitting beside like, it wasn't even just real estate agents. We were sitting beside people that worked at Ontario Tech that were there to help students find student placements and stuff like that. So there was a whole range of people there. I only saw maybe a couple of real estate agents that I recognized, like Kabani was there. This is probably the only one I recognized, but
Are you still sharing screen or not?
no.
So it just, for the free. You have all this in the.
All the events there. Yeah, there's events everywhere.
For the free.com, they have all the
Yep.
events there.
We found ours was Eventbrite, but yeah, Carly said Treb posted a bulletin on it. When you guys log into Stratus, you'll see events and stuff on there and you can just kind of click on them. Okay, other events that are happening, I guess obviously we've got Eid celebration happening right after this. On Wednesday and Thursday, 15th and 16th, Realtor Quest. Is anyone going to that? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Wear your Fulton swag. Let's do some, like, let's do the PR tour. Oh, you guys are not going.
Yeah,
just
you do
signaling each
register
other.
for it. I'm sure you can still register for it now. It's a free event. It's closer to the airport, so sometimes it can be kind of tricky to get to if you live on the east side, but it's all day. I think Martha Stewart's coming. I don't know why.
I heard Doug Ford today.
Doug
is gonna be there.
Ford.
Jay Shetty will be.
Jay
possible.
Shetty, he's good. I don't know if you guys listen to Jay Shetty, but he'll be
Thursday.
good. He's Thursday.
I don't.
No
We'll find out.
idea. Haven't
What is
checked
that
it.
vote in there?
Great question.
Speaking.
Just looking for votes.
Yeah. So we'll be there. There's a Century 21 booth if you guys want to go meet.
Head
Portrait.
office, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Century 21 Canada, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
corporate,
probably
yeah.
be over there saying hello and all that, but there's that. What else is happening?
So many people here go to that? Not too many people. I didn't see many hands.
No.
I thought the hands here were for that, but it's actually for the setup. We'll
So,
be
so,
there.
so you guys don't, nobody wants,
Good day.
nobody does Realtor Quest or?
I don't know. I think Thursday will be the big day
What
because
was
Jay
that?
Shetty is going to be talking.
That's 60.
There's 200 exhibitors there, right? So there's guys gonna be trying to sell you web pages and guys can try to sell you CRMs and coaching programs and moving programs and movers and home inspectors. And so if you need to, we always talk about you need to have your team, right? Who's your team? Who's your guys? I've got a guy that can fix that furnace. I got a guy that can fix that plumbing. I got a guy that can paint this house. You guys have guys? Right? So maybe you go there, look for some guys.
Yeah.
Or girls. I don't
They're
care.
doing like training sessions and stuff like there too. Like we did a good Tressa session last year with that lawyer, Mark. So
Mark
there's some,
Schwartzler.
yeah, so there's like some good training sessions.
Maybe
and
some
stuff.
lawyers there too, yeah.
There's a lot of free
Wednesday,
events.
like a mingle.
Yeah,
Oh, the
like they usually have networking events. Like it's pretty cool to go to if you guys want to like go invest
Oh,
yourself in
there's
there.
A lot of free events.
Lots of free pens.
A lot of free
Lots of
swag.
free bags. You're not wrong.
Hello, hello.
And
Yeah, I know Michael went for every draw he could go into. I think he went home with a bag of stuff. So, yeah,
Rita McNeil is saying hello.
so there's no training this week other than Realtor Quest. Next week on the 22nd, we have a social media video workshop. So there's some guys that do real estate videos for agents, those talking videos. So if you guys have been looking for videographers or want to change your listing packages up a little bit and you want to be in the video to present the house, there's a couple guys that are going to be coming that offer that service. And then end of May, we'll be doing an open house training session.
how did this week's calling session?
Oh yeah. Last week we did calling. We did another online leads calling workshop with buyer leads that have come into some of our online lead efforts. I think it went okay. It wasn't as
We know somebody
bumping
that,
as the first one we did.
we know
but
someone that got a listing appointment
some-
though,
yeah.
so we'll find out how they did, but
Yeah.
yeah, it worked.
Yeah, so we'll probably do that once a month. So if you guys want to test it out, as I'm sure you guys have saw that online leads are a very hit or miss type of thing. It's the hottest topic that everyone wants to invest in because they're obviously just leads. But at the end of the day, once you start to go through it, you realize that people are giving fake phone numbers, numbers are going to random voicemails, email addresses could be wrong. So they're not always the most reliable source, but it's still a different type of way that you guys can generate some business using like agent locator, bold leads and whatnot. So it was a good practice. I think, again, we'll do it again. If you guys want to get used to going on the phones, we just kind of hung out here, did the calls together for 45 minutes, and then you're on your way. So it was pretty good.
Just to back up on that. So these, I don't know, we've had this agent locator now and the boldies that I've had for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 10 years now. How long have we been doing that? A long time?
Since 2013.
And for those people that haven't experienced, it's not that these are leads. These are not leads. These are just names. These are people that just went to the internet and put their name in. And these leads would have been given to somebody already. And generally, when we give out leads, we give it to a location or culture or where else. So, if it's somebody that's looking for something in Mississauga, we're not going to give it, lead to somebody living in Ajax, right? So we give up. But all in all, though, they really don't pan out, right? I don't think. For the last 10 years, if we've done 1 or 2 deals from these leads, I think that's it.
The sad part about
Like I
these.
say, so it's not there. But the point is, sorry,
No, you go.
the leads that we handed out last week were like 3, 4 years old. And these people haven't bought yet, and they got 2 appointments. Got somebody actually did a physical appointment, and I think Moist did a physical appointment the first time you did it.
Mhm.
So if you've had leads yourselves, not necessarily from this platform, but let's say a sign call, a friend of a friend, or somebody's inquired you like months ago, or even months and months, maybe years ago, you still need to contact these people because now they're ready. They're not ready when we do these leads. They're not ready today, but they could be ready today. And some of these leads were like 2, 3 years old, and they still haven't bought, and that's how they got the appointment. So you want to make sure you've got your CRM locked down so that if somebody did inquire on a sign call 2 years ago,
Follow up.
I mean, it's not, they may have not done anything already. That's the lesson here, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say the sad thing is we gave out sheets of 20 leads for each person that came, and every single person that attended had at least one person on their list of 20 that actually did buy a house in like the last couple of years. So it had the agent that originally got the lead followed up with that person, they probably could have converted it into a buyer eventually, but so lead, it's a hard thing to say if leads work or not. They work if you work it, but if you get a lead and then they didn't want to sell the first time you called them or the first 3 times, and then you gave up, then the magic happens, like in the 12-month period, I think.
Cool. We'll keep going, Chris Leader. You're on a roll right now.
Just go right into it. I had a couple of things actually. I just want to see it.
You sharing too?
I don't know if it works. I don't know if I'll pop it up because it's not up there, but somebody on the weekend was asking me how to find out how many people checked out your listing on like realtor.ca, how many views you get. There's a thing called Realtor Link. Have you guys ever heard of Realtor Link? Anyone not heard of it? Okay, so it's on Stratus. I won't log into it now, but maybe if you guys want to find me afterwards, I think I got rid of it. There's a link on Stratus called Realtor Link. If you click on it, it will tell you how many people have viewed your listing from either like realtor.ca, outside brokerage websites and all that. So if you've got clients that think that like they're not getting any showings, like no one's seeing my listing, all of that, it's a really good spot to go to Realtor Link to show them, hey, this is how many people have viewed it. This is where they're coming from. The other thing that it does is anytime you guys get realtor.ca leads to your listings, like if someone goes to realtor.ca and then you get a lead from it, or they call you from your realtor.ca listing, all the leads will show up on there. But I don't think you can find it once the listing sells. I think that link goes away. So haven't discovered that, but if you guys are getting leads from your listings, you can check out Realtor Link as well. And then you can again follow up with those people. That was up for that. I was gonna go into Brad Miller. Did you guys watch this video?
I
this
didn't
morning?
share sound when we started it though. So
Oh, okay. We'll do that later. Brad Miller did a list.
I can try.
Or a, let's see.
I just need to stop here.
Brad Miller, he's the #1 team in Century 21 Canada in the world right now. And I just saw that they sent out I guess they did a podcast with him last week. So they did like a 1-minute clip that I thought was really interesting. Brad's a really cool guy to listen to. He's really calm.
It's probably been some of the most challenging times in my entire
Online
career
can hear it,
of
but
being
not-
a realtor.
I don't know.
Who?
Good deal.
Yeah, yeah, and he has another partner now.
He's got someone else.
Partner, so he's in way out.
Okay, we'll play that. I'll send that out.
Oh, it's just too quiet. It's through here.
Sellers are very pragmatic. They're super educated. Obviously, our job as realtors is, educate and inform, help people make good financial decisions. And if we're doing our job right, we have to describe all those nuances. We have to talk about the fact that the market has changed and where we see it has been and where we see it going. And if we do that well, we can set their expectations. But it's not easy. I mean, sometimes they look at properties that sold 3 months ago and say, well, that was only 3 months ago. I want that number. It's hard to accept that the market has moved down so much in such a short period of time. What I'll often do is I'll ask them to look at the market from the opposite direction, which is, if you're a seller and you were in COVID and I told you your home is worth, 2.8 million, we put it on the market and all of a sudden we got 3.1 because the market had changed, you would easily accept that. And everybody agrees. So, we have to tell them, look, if it's changed the opposite direction, we also have to accept that, right? It's just that the changes have been so rapid. It's been hard to keep your finger on the pulse of it.
He's got a full podcast open. So if you guys are interested, I would watch it. He's very successful. Very cool. Brad. Okay, last thing I'll do. We did Chris Leader this morning. A bunch of you guys were here for that. So if you guys didn't know Chris Leader, he does a session for us every week at 12 o'clock before this meeting. Unfortunately, you can only listen to it if you come into the office. And the reason I mention that is because today's topic, he talked about the pros and cons of working in an office versus working at home. So I don't do it to be mean to bring you guys into the office to listen to him every week. It's just the account that he gave only gives us one login. So that's why you guys don't have access to it at home, but you can. I think it's about almost $40 a month if you guys want to listen to his stuff and do it at home. Otherwise, it's free if you come in. But he got into like the whole topic of working from home and working from the office. I already know most of us here work from home because I only see you guys maybe once a week. There's a good chunk of people I do see every day. But during the pandemic, we all went home and a lot of us didn't come back home. But I feel like agents have always kind of worked from home. Is that true, Claire? Like pandemic probably made it a lot worse, but now employers are trying to get their employees back to the office because they did find out that everyone is more productive when they work in the office. So we just kind of broke down some pros and cons. So obviously the pros of working from home, which I'm sure you guys can all agree with, is the cost effectiveness of not having to pay for gas, the time effectiveness of not having to come commute, the convenience of just waking up and going down to your home office, tax benefits, so you guys can write off your home offices when it comes to tax time, and then less distractions from the office chit chat. So those obviously, is that why you guys all work from home? Just really curious. Yeah, for time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
Okay.
wants to dress up.
Oh,
Okay, so he did talk about that. So we'll talk about the pros. I'm not going to force you guys to come to the office, but he did make some good points on why, if you have been considering working from home or the office, why you should consider the office. He talked about how he got into the business to make more money, and he thinks you'll make more money if you work from the office. And I could agree with that because I would say some of the top teams in the brokerage, top agents, they are office people. So they do typically come in. Shiv comes in every day, right? Yeah. So most people come in to the office that are doing really well. But he did have 5 other things. So competition. So sometimes when you come into the office, you're faced with a little bit of competition. You're like talking to the other agents, what they're up to. You see someone going on a listing appointment and you're like, oh, why aren't I going on listing appointments? And you start to see the people around you that are doing things, and then it makes you feel like you've got to do something as well. So sometimes being around other agents allows that like inner competition to come in. Knowledge sharing, which is what I would say is probably the best thing, is being taught by someone else that's already done some of the things you've done, or maybe you've got a deal that's falling through, or you're overhearing other agents' deals falling through. You're hearing someone walking around here doing negotiations. You've got the management team here at all times. So just having like that extra knowledge at your fingertips is something that really helps. And if you're isolating yourself at home, you're not going to gain that extra knowledge, or you're not going to be overhearing those conversations that are happening in the office as well. So sometimes coming to the office allows you to kind of be around the energy of what's going on in the markets. I don't know how you could find that type of stuff out when you're at home, unless you guys have like real estate podcasts or something playing in the background all day. But he was saying, if you're not willing to come to the office, you should consider hiring a coach. So if you are working from home and you're finding it hard, sometimes hiring a coach might help that as well. The third thing is real-time opportunities. Sometimes you'll hear agents here, I hear all the time, like someone will say, hey, I've got a new listing coming up. Something's hitting the market. I've got this going on. Oh, I just had a deal fall through. And then maybe another agent in the office has a buyer that could go for like one of those listings. So sometimes you're hearing about different opportunities that you wouldn't hear about at home because you're just waiting for MLS things popping up. But sometimes you hear the agents chatter about all the new things that they've got going on, pre-construction buildings, all that stuff. So all that extra chatter. Accountability. So it's easy to hide at home when you don't have Ginny or us. Like, I'm sure you'll see us. We walk around being like, what are you guys working on? What are you doing? What are you up to? And like, you'll hear us always asking whoever's in the office what they're doing. Some agents will work from home because they want to avoid having us ask them what they're doing all day. But sometimes you do get that extra accountability just by coming into the office and having someone ask you what you're doing or seeing what other agents are doing, and then it holds you a little bit more accountable. And then the fifth one is focus. So he did mention agents are ADD, which I could agree. Our brains are all over the place. So I would say it's easy to get distracted at home. You got TVs, you got food, you got things to clean, you got a garden to tend to. So it's very easy to get distracted at home with things that you need to be doing.
You got a dog.
You got a dog. Yeah, you got to go to the groomer. You got to take your parents to the doctor. Like there's so many things that are happening at home that you wouldn't have if you were in the office. And he did compare it to like going to the gym. Like we could work out at home, but sometimes you like to go to the gym because you want to be around other like-minded people. You want to watch what that guy is lifting. Or if you're going to yoga, I could do yoga in my basement, but I would prefer to go to a yoga studio and be around other people that are doing it. And then you get your focus of yoga for the hour, and then you continue on with your day. So it's kind of similar to work. You come to work, you do your work, and then you go home, and then you can do whatever you want at home.
Part of the problems with real estate agents is that you get in that business because you want to have freedom. You don't want to have a boss. You don't have people telling you what to do, how to do, when to do. But the sad part about that is though that if somebody needs somebody to do something, they ask you to do it because they can't do it. They have a job.
Yeah. So you're the first person that goes to the
Like,
groomer.
can you take grandma to the dog place? Yeah, I can. Like I can't. I'm working.
Yeah. The kid's sick. Okay, well, you're the first one to get called. I'm sure the moms all know that feeling. Especially real estate moms. Like you guys are the first ones to get called, right? So yeah, he did talk about that. And then
Your neighbor.
yeah,
Can you take my dog out?
yeah, no problem. I'm home. And that was the last one. I know James just left, but we were talking about you feel better when you get dressed up. So he was talking about waking up in the morning, getting dressed instead of like putting your track pants on and going downstairs to do a Zoom meeting. So sometimes it's nice to get dressed up, put your suit on or whatever it is, and then go to the office. And there's a different feeling about it when you're getting up and getting ready. So those were his signs. I'm not saying you gotta work from the office, but if you're finding you're lacking motivation, you might find coming in and being around the energy might help you a little bit. That's what I got.
Cool, thank you. Claire?
Stats.
Stats.
Okay, stats. A couple of things there too. So we just had Mother's Day. So I've got a flyer here that came to my house there, but other people done it. So I'm just curious. I know Shiv did something, but did you guys do anything for Mother's Day? Did anybody do anything special for Mother's Day for your database? Anybody?
Like a handwritten note,
Handwritten note to
some like potential.
did anybody send out an email wishing everybody a happy Mother's Day? Somebody did that? Gift cards and that? I mean, this person here, he bought a whole bunch of potted flowers at a local grocery store and invited the public to come and pick up their free potted plant. He also had a QR code on there, which connected them to Google Forms. And the people just registered to RSP their potted plant, and they just went to Google Forms on that QR code, and it goes from there, right? Other agents, and again, this is all expensive, of course, but I'm not saying you have to do this, but it's expensive. But if you're going to farm, which we're trying to encourage people to do, this type of things that you want to try to do, right? I know other people who actually delivered flowers to their, I assume to their A clients. So actually deliver little flowers to each home. So that's going to create a memory too, right? So I'm telling you things only for what other people are doing, just to think about it, right? You can do it without spending a whole lot of money. You can do it with spending a lot of money. Depends what you want to do. You don't have to do it to everybody. You can do it to your hand-picked people. You can do it to your clients that have referred more than one or two people to you. People like that you want to give special attention to, right? But anyways, it's that. Sales themselves. So what do you guys think sales are doing? Is it sales up, sales down? What's happening for May? You guys, I know the stats here, but I'm just curious what the feel is. Down? Who is down? We have over 20,000 listings, and how come sales are
Hit
down?
20,000.
Right?
That's crazy.
We've got 20,300 active listings right today,
Which one is great?
and then the market's down. So what's happening there? So the prices are too high?
Too many options now.
Too many options? I'm told different things. I'm told that the inventory out there is not good move-in inventory. Like
There's a lot of
the
investors.
quality of inventory is not there.
Yeah.
Some people seem to think that they're sitting on $1 million house, but they're treating it like it's a $500,000 house. They're not cutting the lawn, they're not painting, they're not doing anything. They just put the market for sale and away we go, right? So they're not maintaining it. I believe, and what I've read is that everybody's waiting for some reason for the interest rates to do something. And the next announcement is June 5th, right? And if it comes down by a quarter point, which everybody's expecting, you think that's going to maybe motivate some buyers to get going? Or you think they're going
Let's
to,
hope.
or you think you think the buyers want to wait for it to come down more,
They better go quick.
right?
They may be waiting for a big.
And then the logic will tell you that if interest rates go down and the buyers want to come to the market, that tells me then the prices are going to be buyers are going to compete. Buyers are going to compete. Buyers, see, so there's different arguments.
Yeah,
Inventory right now.
Yeah.
that's right.
So Shiv's got a good spin on this. I want you to hear what he has to say, but let me finish here though. If you've lowered the interest rates and you've piqued the buyer's interest, wouldn't you expect the demand to be higher? Therefore, the prices would increase because that's what everybody's talking about, right? But what Shiv's suggestion is that if the interest rates come down, prices will also come down because why?
You look at it, thousands of people are waiting for the interest rate to come down. So the price go up, then I want to put my house up.
So more
So
inventory.
more inventory.
Okay, so 4 weeks ago, when the Bank of Canada announced that, so we're gonna drop the interest rate by 0.25%. Okay, and that's not gonna do anything with the market because your mortgage payment goes down $200. Are you gonna get excited if the mortgage payment go down $200 from 5,000 to 4,800? No.
Some people will say yes.
You tell them no.
You tell them no. You tell them no.
Okay, no, right?
Yeah.
You gotta say no, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Okay. So
No.
people of their houses for sale. So what's gonna happen to inventory?
They'll go up more.
Okay, more inventory, same buyer, price down. And secondly, 4 weeks ago, when Bank of Canada announced that we're gonna drop the interest rate 4%, and the seller realized that the interest rate is not gonna come down this year, only twice 4%. They don't want to affect the market. Since April the 10th to May the 10th, we got an extra 8,000 listings. So we have 12,400 listings March 31st. We had 18,088 listings April 30th. We have 20,000 333, May the 13th day. Okay, so did you want to sell, wait for the interest rate to go down and more listing come up, or would you rather sell it?
Now.
And also, the sales have gone down. We only sold 1,900 homes this month. Based on that, we're gonna sell 4,700 homes for the end of the month. So that's already down from March and April. 33% sales are down. So that's the thing.
So what Shiv is saying here is that because the interest rates will come down, he expects that some sellers will probably think, well, I'll put my property on the market because there'll be more potential buyers out there, therefore there's gonna be more inventory, therefore drive the prices down. Right? So who knows?
Of course, why who knows?
Right? Who knows? Who
No
knows?
one has a crystal
You
ball.
don't
We
let
don't
them, you
know.
don't let them make a decision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who knows, right?
And all the sellers still want it.
No. Nobody wants it.
This is part of the problem too, right? Yeah. So sales right now, just unfortunately, but I thought maybe it was a bit of an anomaly for the first 5 days, but now we've had
Week.
12 days. I do this as of May the 12th. My number's a little bit different than what Shiv just said, but my numbers here show at 2,500 sales versus 3,900 sales this time last year. And sales was actually down about 34%.
So my number shows 1,900 sales so far as of this point.
Down 34%.
From last year.
Yeah.
This time last year.
Here in the last year, here in the last month.
Yeah, so I knew you were gonna say that. So April the 12th, see, as a salesperson, you gotta anticipate everything, right? So I knew she was gonna say that, so.
Don't worry, we got you.
So the sales for the first 12 days in April were 3,020, and for May was 2,500, so it's down 18% from last
My
month.
system said 1,900, but
You can make it you can make the numbers say whatever you
Yours
want.
is as of this morning.
Whatever story
This
you want to
morning?
tell you.
Whatever story you wanna tell, you make the numbers match.
His was this morning, yours was yesterday, so maybe, I don't know.
Condominium sales though are still about minus 37, minus 33 for freeholds. And it says April down about 17% or so. So we're a little bit down from April, a little bit down from March, but it's still okay because it's still over 2,500 sales, so it's still there. Who's got listings sitting there doing nothing? 1, 2, 1, 2,
Condos?
1, 2. Yeah, condo, everybody else. So we have somebody told me a long time ago that the only reason why the property's not selling is because of price. It's not the market, it's not the interest rate, it's not the competition, it's the price. So take emotions out of it, reduce the price, and away you go.
there's no bad market,
There's no bad market, no.
only overpriced listing.
On the lease sides, we've only got 12,000 active leases for lease, and they're down about 9%. So leases themselves, not so much, they're down a little bit, so. But I think it's typical market. I think we're okay. The market's fine. There's still lots of sales. There's still interesting things. Looking at Montreal sales for April were up 25%. So what's Montreal got that we haven't got, right? So their sales are up 25%, Montreal, and they got the same lending rules as we do. Unfortunately, fortunately for Montreal, the average price there is only about $575. So our price is double,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe they just did really bad last year.
But you know what? In April, we sold ourselves. How many properties we sell in April? 7,100.
7,300.
And these guys here, they're selling. Yeah, 4,600. Okay, so it's still down quite a bit there. So it's not as, the market's not as big, but the numbers are still okay with sales up 25%.
But
So
the active listings are less though.
their active inventory is up 33% to 7,000.
Yeah, 7,000 to 2,600.
Yeah. So when you look at other cities in Canada, you realize how big Toronto really is and how small the other towns are.
Yeah.
Good. Well, markets are all right there. Good.
Yeah, so the headlines all tell different stories, right? So see if you can catch me telling a different story based on which news article. So this one is saying, this is from Ren Magazine. Condo sales rise in the GTA as prices stabilize and renters eye homeownership. So they're talking about quarter to quarter. So this quarter compared to last quarter are up about 5.3%. So if you want to tell a good news story, you would compare quarter to quarter instead of, year to year or month to month. They're saying new listings increased 23% during that time. And all in all, buyers had more choice as average prices crept down. So they're saying once interest rates start trending lower, they're going to look to condo sales because they can't necessarily afford houses still. And so they're predicting that people will end up going to condos. And these are resale condos, not pre-construction condos. That's a totally different story right now. But, you know, average price right now in GTA for a condo is about $693, which is only 1% less than it was last year, same quarter, from quarter one to quarter one. So this would be good if you're looking for sort of a good news story. Average condo price, so Treb total $693, but how it's broken down in Halton, it's $672, Peel is $607, Toronto core $723. So we already know Toronto prices are a little bit generally higher. York is $680. Durham is only $555. So you're going to see people going to Durham condos, and there's a lot of them right now. And then all other areas $536. But they also talk about the 10 best-selling condos. So we get this question a lot too, like where should we invest? What are the best-selling condos? So these are a list of the 10 top-selling GTA condos. These are resale condo buildings that are already done or are brand new. So the number one is kind of surprising. Can you guess what area it might be? It's not in Toronto. Definitely not in Scarborough. It's actually in Milton. So it's a Mattamy Homes development, Hawthorne South Village. We weren't promoting that one. I don't know anyone personally that was doing that, but that apparently is the number one selling building right now. Number two is Bianca Condos, 280 Howland. It's a Tridel built. So you can kind of see these big developers, right? Mattamy Homes, Tridel. Number three was in Vaughan, Park Avenue Place Towers. Number four was in Etobicoke, California Condos. So that's not brand new, 165 Legion. So they typically have, yeah, it was number four selling building, built in 2013. There's 30 total sales. So I mean, they're not big numbers, right? These are total units that were sold. Number five was also in Etobicoke, Triumph. Riverside's a 30 Baseball Place. I've seen a ton of rentals in that building as well. That's by Streetcar Developments on the east end of Toronto. Richmond Hill, Beverly Hills Condos, Vaughan, Transit City was number 9. Number 10 was Mississauga. So it's kind of all over. And the completion date, like this one, number 10 was 1978 build. So it's all over, right? So these are not your typical Yorkville, Forest Hill buildings that you're thinking about. These are all over the GTA. And they're saying now is a great time to buy a condo. Prices are a little bit lower. You're going to benefit from later when the prices increase. So now it's a great time to buy even resale condos, not just pre-construction as well. So again, this is also different sort of network REMI, but condos are viewed as a viable long-term housing option. So they're talking to people about, you know, why don't people want to buy condos? They're saying the city of Toronto accounted for almost 2/3 of total condo sales. And the average price, like I just said before, $723, which is still down 0.5%, but that's not a big, huge difference compared to last quarter. But the increased amount of sales may signal healthier buyer intentions as confidence grows in the condo market. So as first-time buying activity increases with lower borrowing costs this year and into 2025, inventory will be absorbed as market conditions will tighten. So people are going to sort of go after condos instead of freeholds. Are you guys seeing that trend yet? Like we haven't seen it proven. These are all speculating, right? These are all based on surveys and what people's opinions are of condos. So we haven't seen it happen yet. But there are certain percentage of people that feel that condos might be a good housing option. So 47% of Torontonians believe condos might be viable for long term, but they are saying that these condos need to be better built. So it's not just the cheap condos that people are going after. They want the nice developers. They want sustainable green sort of buildings as well. They want good amenities. They want good quality buildings. They're not going to go after poorer quality buildings. So those people are still going to suffer. So you're going to see like the newer sort of developing and sort of worse quality, they're not going to do as well. But people still are sort of confident in condos and they're going to go after them.
Saw an Asian that did a pre-construction. Anybody done pre-construction lately?
We know some people,
Eden
they're still
did, like,
selling.
12 last.
One of our Asians did about 11 or 12 units last year, but Queens Quay, there's a development down in Queens Quay, $1,700 a square foot.
East, I think.
Queens Quay.
Would be west. It doesn't go as west. Queens Quay doesn't go as far east. It's only on the west.
That's our,
Is it counted P1?
No.
B.
no, it'd be
CO1.
C1.
C1.
$1,700 a square foot. It seems to me it's pretty high when the resale market is how much?
1,100.
It was even 12. Even I was going to say
1,000,
1,000.
1,100 some areas. Yeah.
All right. So who's buying at $1,700? Like what's the logic there?
These are the crazy people who want to buy brand new, that's it.
Yeah,
Rich
well, they're still speculators, right? They're
I mean, if
gamblers.
they're end users, that's fine, right? But if these guys are speculators, then that's a high number to be paying.
But they're buying downtown Toronto. It's like this is Q Tower, right? It's right downtown. There's not that many opportunities to buy downtown Toronto anymore. So people want to sort of get into downtown while they can.
I guess the point is that people are still investing, so
Yes, yeah,
there's somebody else.
How much you gonna rent it?
yeah. No, there's still people. I saw some of our own agents shopping around for condos too on the weekend.
$7 million condo rent for $4,000.
There's good incentives right now to buy pre-cons. We talked about it last week, like all the different types of incentives. And I don't know if anybody really knows, but the actual project needs to sell 70% of their units for them to even get financing. So that's the reason why they're not reducing prices, but they are giving you everything else they can do. So they're doing free parking, mortgage buy down. I've even heard, this is the first time I heard this term, where they're calling it a mortgage holiday. So they're basically giving you a mortgage free period for a certain amount of months, but they're calling it a mortgage vacation. So you get a vacation from your mortgage for a couple of months.
We could all use one of those.
Some condos at 5 points.
Yeah, but they won't reduce price. They need to sell 70% to even get the financing to even start digging and build in the first place. So they're doing free parking, reduced deposits, rental guarantees, mortgage vacations, every single thing that they can do to try to get these units sold so that they can get the financing to even proceed with the rest of the project, right? So it's not, they're also saying it's not a bad time to buy pre-construction. Should the market come back one day, you get the benefit of all these incentives. You know, you didn't get the benefit of the price, but at some point the building will get built, the market gets better, and then you got your free parking and your mortgage buy down and all these incentives, right? So if you, there are people buying, we know for sure, and there's incentives to do so. Now is the best time right now to get those incentives because we've never seen anything like this. Did you even see this in like 2017 or before, these types of incentives?
Oh, incentives, no.
Incentives, no. People are lining up just to get anything without getting anything free, right?
They're lining up of the houses as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody lined
Like
up for
camping
stuff.
out.
Yeah, Freehold's different because
Wow.
there's less projects. Like the one that's happening, the Willow in Clarington, there's only 25 units. So they're probably gone by the time I'm even like speaking about it right now. Like they don't even need to go to a public launch. But 25 units compared to a condo tower of hundreds of units is totally different, right? So yeah, there's still a high demand for Freehold for sure. This one's interesting too, but I guess I'll keep going with people buying. Yeah, you go for it.
Okay, so has any clients come to you, or have you thought about that capital gains tax at all? Has that been an issue? Did that sort of just the announcement come and go and nobody had anything to say, or
Nobody cares.
nobody cares?
I hadn't like known.
Just pay extra 10%.
Hey,
Some
you
people
got
are
one
upset.
question, that's it.
Right, so I mean, you look at the newspapers. I mean, I remember the Star that said that billionaires hate this, but you'll love it, the capital gains. But it works out to be about what, 7% difference? It's not a big difference there. Anyways, it's not a big thing there. But if you do want to switch, then certainly talk to you. You can switch your principal residence from your cottage. If you own a cottage, you can switch it from the cottage to your house, for instance, if it's advantageous. But there's different things you can do, so you talk to accountants and that, but you still have to pay taxes. It doesn't, there's no way of getting around that.
Yeah, the question we're getting is how do you avoid capital gains? Like,
Yeah.
Good luck.
yeah,
A
you
lot of people
cannot.
say, well, I'll put my name on it, but you don't. There's called deemed disposition, things like that, so.
Mhm.
But this article here talks about, this different article talks about basement apartments. And you know that the city's trying to get everybody to, not the city, the whole country, I guess, is trying to get more units, trying to get secondary units, trying to get basement apartments, trying to get higher density, right? So they're being a little less strict on basement apartments and things like that. And here's the question I've got. Nelson can correct me here, but if you've got who's got clients that have a basement apartment that's not legal?
Everybody.
And then my question to you is, what's the motivation for people to have illegal basement apartments? And
It's too
like
expensive.
from this point forward,
Long time ago. So
a long time ago, fine.
It is what it is.
They bought it like
But
that.
am I correct in saying that everyone wants to pay under the table to save money? Okay. And which is fine, but at the end of the day, you're sort of cutting your nose off, I think, and you have to do the math on this. But if you had a legal basement apartment that had legal rent, you can probably get, I don't know, $100,000 more for that property because it's legal.
No. Another $20,000.
You qualify based on if you can
For
rent it
lender.
if you can rent it out for $2,000, $1,500 whatever is a month.
Then they even do that. that you do like an unqualified basement apartment.
You can get a proper mortgage with the legal basement apartment.
Yeah.
From an A lender.
You can get a proper mortgage from it. So what I'm thinking about is you're saving money, this 13% HST that you're saving when you pay cash. I assume that's all you're saving, 13% HST.
It's just your what?
If you got somebody to finish your basement and it's not legal, what are you saving? What's the buyer saving? 13%?
Like you're paying someone under
Under
the
the
table.
table, yeah, it's tough.
You're
Under
paying,
the
you're paying them
table.
cash.
Cost more than.
I know, but it's a 13% difference. Would that be fair?
You still pay cash for the legal basement.
Right.
But still pay.
And then my point is, if you've got an illegal basement apartment today, what would be the process to make that legal? Being that the government has now want this to happen, I'm just thinking, if you've got clients in that situation, what would be the situation to make it legal?
That's still expensive. It costs you $20,000.
I don't know. I haven't got Varan here, so I need my backup. But if you sell a not legal basement apartment, are you not selling at a discount because it's not legal?
Yeah, people are scared
think
about
so.
legal.
I'm just thinking that
Okay.
if the government's changed and they want everybody to have secondary units, I think there might be good opportunity for them to close your eyes on a couple of these units here to make them legal. That's all I'm thinking about. Just a thought. I know if it's a legal based apartment, you can include the rent as part of your qualifying income.
That is true.
Well, part of that, what the article is saying too, is a couple that didn't really need the apartment rental income, like they bought it, they could afford it, but then interest rates changed and it became sort of helpful for them. So they rented it out only for a year, tenant left, they didn't renew it, but it helped them out for that year. They replaced the roof with the money that they made. They did a bunch of changes. So it helped just their overall family feel a bit more secure in an unknown market.
And then last thing for me about this, some people come to me saying that they took CERB payments and the government's come back to them saying they want the money back.
But that was a long time ago.
No, they want it back today.
No, but that was like give me back 40,000 or it becomes 60.
That's businesses. I'm talking about individuals.
Oh, personal as well?
The $2,000 a month that people took, they took it not legally and the government didn't look at it. They just gave it out. They want
Just
that
gave
money back, right? So if you're in that situation, I just read here that CRA reversed $246 million of those particular individuals. So if you yourself are in the situation or you have clients in the situation, you can get away so that you don't have to pay for it. So they just reversed it. I don't know why. So just don't, if you get a letter from CRA saying you owe this money back, just don't say yes, sir, write a check. Just inquire and see what it is you can make it so that you get the money legal.
Something else you don't know about the basement apartment. Pickering area, you're allowed to have 2 legal basement apartments.
Legal, yeah.
Legal.
Yeah.
In Pickering area.
Provided.
The basement has to be at least 1,175.
Yeah, there'd be square feet, fire rated doors,
No,
windows.
That when you're building it, you can build everything else. But as long as the basement is 1,175 square feet, you can have 2 apartments. I have 2 clients did 2 basement apartment, 1 bedroom each.
In the same house.
Same house, in the basement, 1 basement, 2.
Yeah.
And is that they still have that law, you have to have a side-by-side parking, you can't do tandem?
No, side by side parking, sometimes when you have double garage, you can put a little.
Yeah, so side, yeah, so there's another, yeah, so there's other rules involved too, just.
No, they're in the Ajax, they stop doing side by side parking, then you can even do in a single garage. I don't know how they do it, but they allow it.
Every town's different, right? So Oshawa, you have to be registered.
Oshawa was no apartment allowed before, it was started 6 months.
So now people are talking about capital gains, they're talking about inheritance and transferring generational wealth. And they're saying that there's about $1 trillion in assets that are about to be exchanged hands before 2026. So this is in the next couple of years. $1 trillion of assets. This includes like real estate, RSPs, savings. $1 trillion is about to